What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We all know the 4D coaster thanks to the name X2. Some say it's the best coaster on Earth, and others say the opposite. But regardless, there's no denying the impact it's had on modern day coasters. However, many of you probably still don't know the history of the model or the ride itself. So today, I'm going to fill you in on just that. Here is the history of the 4D coaster. The concept for a fourth dimension coaster dates back to well before initial designs of such a thing came out, but it wasn't until roller coaster manufacturer Aerodynamics that it actually happened. In 2002, Six Flags Magic Mountain would debut X2, the world's first fourth dimension roller coaster, but lots had been happening behind the scenes to make this happen. To start, we need to travel back to the Aerodynamics headquarters in Clearfield, Utah, and meet the man running the show. This man is Alan Schilke, and he is responsible for current day coasters such as Steel Vengeance, but was also responsible for the creation of X2, Dinoconda, and Ejanica. Pictured here is his prototype for their 4D coaster in the manufacturing facility. As he explains it, there is a 4-rail system allotting to the rotation of the seats. As the outer rails vary in distance from the inner rails, a pole is moved up and down, causing the seat to spin. This prototype, referred to by Schilke as Mindbender, is the first ever recorded 4D roller coaster, though most sources won't note it as such since it never opened to the public. Using a winch, riders were pulled to a mere 15 feet before running through a small section of track. Roller coaster manufacturers will often develop these smaller prototypes for coasters to help them gain a better understanding of what they're actually creating. When we took our visit to the S&S facility headquarters in Utah, they actually had a couple coasters there besides just the Axis model, so this isn't uncommon. The concept seemed promising, and designs for a legit, true coaster were put in the makings. The process took about a year before plans were finalized and sent to a board of directory at Six Flags. Shortly after this, Six Flags Magic Mountain stated on December 19, 2000, that as part of a $30 million expansion, they would be adding 3 roller coasters for the 2001 season. Deja Vu, Goliath Jr., and X2, then referred to as X, were among them. This would raise the total coaster count in the park to 15, surpassing Cedar Point as the world's coaster capital. X2 was supposed to launch in the summer of 2001, but it was postponed on notes of design flaws. It eventually opened for pass holders on December 24, 2001, and officially opened on January 12, 2002. However, the ride ended up costing a heavy $46 million in total, causing Aerodynamics to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy a month before opening. The company had wasted millions of dollars on the project, and in June of 2002, X was closed indefinitely owing to train problems. Luckily, the attraction reopened on August 13th after improvements were done to make it more reliable. It was revealed that one of the coach seats that flipped riders was not operating properly. Six Flags Magic Mountain announced that a facelift on November 1st, 2007, just a few years later, would be happening. On December 2nd, X was closed for a redesign that included new trains with pneumatic restraints, an improvement over the original mechanically operated ones that frequently jammed. A new color scheme of red and black supports was added, and all new innovative state-of-the-art visual, audio, and sensory effects. X reopened as X2 on May 24, 2008 with a $10 million investment. Six Flags Magic Mountain commissioned S&S Aero to build new trains for the coaster. These new trains are lighter, which are still in use today, which helps to reduce wear and downtime. X2 also added a third train and a new load/unload technique to boost ride capacity by up to 50%. The trains were first tested on March 6, 2008, and in 2013 the attraction was closed to a faulty chain lift once again. It then reopened in January 2014 with only one train. Later, 2 editions of the 4D model were made in the form of Ejanica and Dinoconda, both record holders some say in their own respects. Ejanica claims to hold the world record for most inversions, though most would argue against it since it's seat inversions and not the actual track. Regardless, all 3 coasters are still operating today and continue to thrill riders from around the world. But that being said, what do you think of the 4D coaster? Was it too ambitious? Should Ejanica hold the world record for the most inversions? Those are questions we'd love to hear your opinions on down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for another video coming Friday on the history of Chicago. Chicago actually had a bunch of coasters, and we're going to be specifically highlighting a double Aero corkscrew looper, if you can't tell we like Aero. But until then, we hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you.